Hello, it's Michelle on Michelle's Magical Mondays, and we are here live in Orlando, Florida, in this beautiful, hazy, rainy, kind of gorgeous day that we're having. And I just want to adjust this. I'm sorry, I'm having camera stuff. Oh yay, we actually have people on today. Sorry for all the technical difficulties last week. I tried to make sure that all of that was figured out this week and did a live test, so we should be good. So first off, I want to thank everybody for your patience, and I missed something last week that I really wanted to talk about because of the disconnect in the live feed. I wanted to say thank you and happy Mother's Day to all mothers out there, because last Monday was so much closer to Mother's Day, but I still want to say happy Mother's Day to all the mothers that have been my mothers in the world, even not just my mom, Kathy, but all the mothers. And I wanted to say happy birthday. It's a little belated now. I wanted to say happy birthday to my mom, Kathy, up in Ohio. Happy birthday. And now it's a little belated, but I still wanted you to know I was thinking of you and I love you. My mom has the most amazing quote, and I wanted to start today's feed out with this very mindful quote, which is, "My very favorite flower is the one in bloom." And that's kind of what we're talking about here today, is getting excited about the mindfulness of whatever it is that you are you're creating in your own life. What are you growing? What are you what is in your own essence? And what are you like right there aware of? So when we're starting to create the sacred, it's those little things that make everything happen. So I want to announce today's winner. So for last week, we had Anna actually shared this video, and so she was pulled from my people who shared this video from last week, and she gets a 30-minute reading, and I think you're on. So hey Anna, get a hold of me by private message and we'll do wink wink, heart heart, and we'll do a little session. So a 30-minute session for Anna. And if you want to be next week's winner, go ahead and share this video, and each week I give away a 30-minute session to someone who has shared with us these videos. And my assistant Janine is getting them all up on YouTube, so we're super excited about, you know, if you want to go back and listen to past ones, or you're having a bad day, or you're like, Michelle said that thing this one time, you could actually go back and see some of the other videos from the past. So we're kind of excited about that. So if you want to look at something, or you're having a bad day, that might be a good way to say, okay, how do I want to be mindful? So, hi, Aunt Kathy. Oh, wow. All these people, all my loves of my life. So today we're talking about the divine, and I'm really inspired this week by a book that I'm reading called The Secrets of the Lost Mode of Prayer by Gregg Bradenton. I'm sorry, Braden, Braden. And this is, I've read a lot of his books, and this is the second time I've read this book, and it's really, really powerful about how throughout history we have come into the idea of surrender and moving into that sacred divine through prayer. And one of my favorite authors, Wayne Dyer, I grew up reading his books, and he was one of the first inspirational speakers that I really ever got attracted to his work. He talks about prayer as being when we talk to the divine, and God as listening to us then. But if we want to hear the divine, if we want to hear God or Goddess or the universe speak, we hear that when we're quiet and when we're in meditation. So the the quote from Wayne Dyer is, praying is talking to God and meditation is listening to God. So this whole art of active prayer is also a great deal of what we do in Theta Healing, is that we're getting into the essence of what it is that we're working with, and we're creating a statement, a divine statement, where we move into the changing of an energy field by tapping in using the word God, Allah, Buddha, Judah, whatever your name for the divine. I really like to use Creator or the sparkly white light. Another word I've been using for the divine right now is Creatrix, because I'm tapping into that feminine divine. And I love the fact that we all live in an energy field. So we're tapping into the matrix energy of the energy field of all that is. So you say the name, whatever it is that resonates with you, of the name of God, and then you move into a command. And when we get into a command in Theta Healing, and this is all defined in the Theta Healing book by Viana, that is the author and creator of Theta Healing. She breaks down, you start with the name, and then you go into the command. And why do we go into the command? We go into the command because we're in co-creation. We're not telling God what to do. We're working with the energy of God in creating something in this energy field, our reality. So it's an active prayer. So it is commanded. And then you say the thing that you're trying to make happen in a way that is worded as it's already happened. So it is commanded, for example, that this be in my life now. So if we're looking at the energy of a job, for example, Creator, it is commanded that this job that I am already wanting and being in is in my life now, that I have this job and it's mine. Thank you. It is done. It is done. It is done. So we say that energy, that power of 3, that it is done. It is done. It is done. And then we sit and we witness. We're not the healer. We're not the creator. We're the half of creator that is the witness of this thing transforming in the energy field. So that is a divine prayer. And so we have these formulas of prayers all throughout the world. And what really religion is doing is we're seeking the divine through a pattern that we understand. So as I see religion, whether you're looking at Christianity or whether you're looking at Buddhism or whether you're looking at the Jewish faith or the fairy tradition or it doesn't really matter which magical practice you're looking at, the magic in all of this is making your prayers an active part of your day, not in a way where we're weak, where it's outside of us, where it's like, oh, this will never happen, but I'm going to pray for it anyway. But really where you're coming into the divine understanding that this is where you're creating your own reality. We talk about the law of polarities. So what is stated in the law of polarities is that if you can think of it, then somewhere it is available to you. So if it is possible, if you can even just think it is possible, then somewhere it actually exists. So with the law of attraction, you're actually calling it to you by thinking about it. You're focusing on it. You're meditating on it. You're visualizing having this thing, whether that's money, whether that's new love, whether it's a new car, whether it's a new home. It doesn't really matter what you're trying to attract to you. The law of magnetism says that whatever it is that you think about, you will receive. And so in this case, we really want to get into the energy of knowing what it feels like to have it. So that's where visualization and meditation anchors the understanding that you already have what you want. And sometimes that's really hard when we're in the energy of depression, or when we're in the energy of anxiety, or in the magical feeling of being overwhelmed, because every one of us have been overwhelmed. And this week I've been kind of working with the energy of tired. So having to restate the word tired into my body is needing to regenerate. Instead of saying I'm so tired all the time, you want to say, okay, my body is ready to rest. And if your body's ready to rest, you give it rest. So when we're wanting to pull something to us, we start doing what? The negative chatter of worry. And I am constantly bombarded with people who want to put plan B and the worry mentality in front of what they really want. So what happens when we worry about something, or we give energy to it? We draw that to us as one of these prayers. So we want to basically stop that worry. Sorry. I want to stop that worry by saying, no, cancel, clear, delete that. That's not what I want. So the first thing to stop worry is just recognizing that you're worrying. Just recognizing that you're thinking those downward spirals. If you're depressed, the first thing to stop depression is to name it. Name that you're depressed. Name that you're sad, and feel into it. So I have a friend that's going through a lot of really traumatic stuff. She had a stroke. So hi Lorena, hi Lorena's family. And so I've been sad. I've been really sad because this is a really tough time for somebody who I care about. And so what we do in that is, instead of going into the spiral of worry or down into the spiral of depression, we go into the energy of surrendering to feeling sad. We allow ourselves to name it, and then we start asking for the things that she needs. So we start praying, active prayer. So she needed transported to Tennessee, medical transport, and she was able to find that transport. There were fundraisers done in her honor where money was found so we can keep her phone on and the things that she needs. The local business here, Avalon, donated books and money from a psychic fair for her care. And that's the energy of creation. So the difference between being sad and being inactive is moving toward accepting that you're sad and then moving into something that's active. So when it's something a little more personal, like you're depressed, like, oh, wow, things just aren't going right. We do the same thing. We lay into the idea of saying, okay, I'm depressed. The first thing that I like people to do if they are going down the spiral of depression, if they're one of my clients, is to recognize, name it, and surrender to it. And there's an author named Gabriella who has a book called The Universe Has Your Back. And she talks about when you think you've surrendered, surrender some more. So what does surrender look like? Surrender says, I acknowledge that these are tough times. And what is the lesson that I need to learn about? And we call this blessing the trigger. And that's kind of covered in this book. The book is called Secrets of the Lost Mode of Prayer. And we only evolve our souls by learning how to deal with challenges in the highest and best. Our soul's evolution is actually here to learn to make the best of what we're given. So sometimes we have this happen at a young age. Sometimes we happen at an old age. Sometimes we have a life full of really tough lessons. I like to teasingly say that I must have been crazy when I picked this life and I made all the contracts for this life. I must have been looking at it like a video game saying, yes, I'm going to take that hard button. I want all the rewards at the end, all the I'll take all the challenges so that I can get all the rewards. And that's what's happened. I really went through my life's challenges, and I still have some. Who doesn't? But what I do now is move into the area of gratitude. And we were talking earlier today about gratitude and appreciation. So gratitude is when you know you have really made something happen out of a rough time. But appreciation's really cool too. And I want to give credit to this difference to a woman named Alexandra, who reminded me that appreciation is saying, this is pretty awesome, right when you're in it. Like actually acknowledging that you're in an awesome moment. So I'm actively appreciating what I have. And in this case, I really do have a lot to be grateful for. And so one of the things that we do every week is pull a card. And this is from a deck that says, this card is called Believe in Yourself. And so when we are talking about the sacred within you, you have to understand that you are the sacred. You're a divine spark of God or a divine spark of goddess, if that's the direction you want to go. I like to say I am the witness half of the creator or the witness half of the creatrix. I wake up what sparks in me, and everyone around me then gets to feel that spark. And the goal here is to spark other people, spark joy in other people, spark inspiration in other people, live mindfully in and around other people, help where we can, create acts of mindfulness when we can, create tribes where we help each other, that we bond and give great consolation when we're having difficult times. We rise each other up when we're having good times. We validate and appreciate and share this feeling of strength within our communities. And if you are, for some reason, one of those people that are alone, for whatever reason in your world, I want you to understand that you can validate and appreciate yourself. So you go in and you say, you're wonderful. I love you. I'm constantly reminding my clients, when was the last time you said I love you to yourself? When was the last time you said I forgive you to yourself? But we also should do that to our tribe, our family. So showing gratitude and appreciation and validation. More than 1/5 of all people are most motivated by words of affirmation. And so are you telling the people that are in your day-to-day lives that they're messed up? Are you constantly criticizing what they didn't do rather than validating and rewarding what they do? So sometimes it is important, especially if you're having dissonance with a person, when you're having conflict with a person, to start looking at the divine in them, where you actually recommend to them or say to them, wow, you did this right, instead of saying, oh my God, you did this wrong. So that's how you recognize the divine in another person. And I want you to consider doing that for yourself too, because we're our own biggest critics. So when you start recognizing into yourself what you've done right, you can continue to do more right in the world. So take a minute, and I want you to say, I really appreciate what you've done. Maybe you've had a challenging time. I want you to say to yourself, you go girl, or you go boy, and you've got this, and I love you, and you can do better, but I really think you did a good job. Attaboy. So I just wanted to say hi to everybody. I'm seeing all kinds of cool people joining us. So thank you, Brandy, for sharing. Hi, Liz. Hi to everybody that's on today. This is so cool to be able to do this every Monday. So the last thing I really wanted to cover today was, as we are doing this, I wanted to spark within you a bit of activation inside you. So I want to have everybody take a couple really deep breaths. And as you're starting to breathe, I want you to realize that these breaths are activating inside of you the idea that you are a divine being. So you're breathing in the love energy. You're breathing in the validation. You're breathing in the love. Okay, happy birthday, Jenny. I see that the birthday girl just jumped on. So everybody say happy birthday, Jenny. So sorry for interrupting, but you know, it just had to happen. Happy birthday. So we're breathing into our own divinity. And this is something that we can do at any point, at any time when we are depressed. I want you to breathe in your own hope. So you're breathing in hope. You're breathing in the idea that you are a divine spark of the all that is. And you're letting go of all the toxic energy that you hold on to. You're letting go. I want you to do this for me right now. Let go of the energy of fear. Let go of the energy of depression as it's coming on. Let go of the energy of anxiety and overwhelm and worry. And right now, right here, I want you to accept a download, an energetic download. And so even if you're listening to this 10 years from now on YouTube or however long from now, the moment you receive, I am sending out an energetic theta healing download to activate the divinity in you, that you know how to recognize the divinity in you, that you know how to recognize that creator or creatrix energy within you, that you're opening up the spark in you that lights up your eyes, lights up your days, lights up your joy, brings you to that place where you know you've got this. I want to activate your own self-appreciation. I want to activate your own gratitude and validation, that you know that you, even in your harm, even in your rough days, even on the most overwhelming moment, are still a part of everything. The molecular matrix of all that is, you are part of that light. And I want you to activate and remember that right now. And in the darkest hour, I want you to bring that spark back into your eyes, bring that spark back into your breath, bring that spark back into your heart, because you are love. And in this moment, I'm telling you, you are also loved. So accept what it feels like to be in receiving energy. You are receiving all the way through your energy field, all the way through your body, receiving the light of divinity. That light comes in and it brings you back to your center, brings you back to your heart, brings you back to your love, brings you back to remembering that there's good in the world, remembering that you are a good person, remembering that with the law of attraction, you can call to you what you need. Remember that with the law of action, you have to go out and do some of that in a process. You have to go out and allow action to start activating that magnetism. But that you are a magnet for the things that you want and that you need. So remember that you are a divine spark of the divine, and that anytime you need that light, it is available to you. And that light is open to you at the moment of your deepest despair. That light is available to you at the moment of your deepest grief. That total feeling of connectedness is available to you if you ask for it at your deepest moment of loneliness. So even if you're far away from your loved ones or disconnected from other people, you can say to the divine, help fill me up. Show me that I'm not alone. You'll never actually be alone, because this energy matrix brings you back to the energy of all that is. And that manipulation of the energy brings you back to I can, and I am, and I will. So remember, and I'm pretty sure most of you have been following me, have seen some of my other videos, what you say I am to is what you are. So I am joyful. I am happy. I am prosperous. I am, invigorated. I am in joy. I am in love. I am working toward this. I am able to do this. I can. In the great words of Louise Hay, I can do it. So fall in love with the idea of you've got this. You can do this. And as we're moving into the energy of having, feel in your prayer, feel into your sacred meditation time, what it would be like to already have what it is you want. So we're downloading what it feels like for you to have what you want already in existence. It's because it already exists. And if you can imagine it and feel it, you can attract it to you. So take that time for yourself, because we get so full of life. We're doing this, we're running here, we're all caught up in the chaos. And instead of saying in that form of meditative prayer that this is in my life now, we wonder, why isn't it? Or just because it didn't happen last time, it'll never happen again. I call this the possibilities moment. Because it's never happened, I don't think it's possible. So I see that with people who've broken up with a bad relationship. Oh, it's not possible. Nobody's out there for me, and just because we haven't had it yet. Or I see this in people who've been in the same job for a long time. They think it's impossible for them to go out and create a different kind of living for themselves at the same rate. And yet I know some people who have done amazing and hugely bountiful things with what they're passionate about. So they're able to bring to them an even higher income just for doing what they're passionate about, whether that's becoming a yoga instructor, or whether that's creating a business, or even if it's just changing a business and going in another direction. And it's never too late to start over. It's never too late to start fresh, and it's never too late to live your passion. The biggest gift I've ever received is understanding that living fully present, fully mindful is the way to creating the life you want to lead. So dig in and surrender into the difficult times and ask, what have I learned? How is this serving me? And what can I do to move forward and past this energy? So I know that sometimes depression and overwhelmingness and things are out of our control, but what we do with it to keep feeding that energy is what's in our control. So if we feed it with love, we feed it with hope, and we feed it with joy, our return on our investment will be just exactly the answer of joy and love and hope. So I hope this has been inspirational to you the way you have been inspirational to me. So again, this is Michelle Orwick coming live from Orlando, Florida. And I want to remind you that you are the divine spark. You are the divinity within the interior of you. And I love each one of you, and I send you healing, I send you light, I send you blessings, I send you joy, I send you hope, and I want you to really connect with those things this week. Have a phenomenal holiday weekend. I know that a lot of us are getting some extra time off this weekend, and I had a couple of questions earlier in the day as to whether I would still be doing this on Memorial Day. So absolutely I'll be here on Memorial Day. So it will be Michelle's Magical Memorial Day Monday. So you absolutely have a blessed and beautiful day, and remember that you are the blessing.